In the last section, we talked about conflicts of interest that face all brokers, good brokers and bad brokers, things that can pit clients against their brokers, but where good brokers can actually do the right thing and work around those conflicts on behalf of the client. The next section, we're going to talk about things that we've seen that we call bad broker behavior, and this is where brokers really go out of their way. We're not talking about good brokers here. We're talking about brokers that go out of their way to hurt their clients. And the first one that we're going to talk about here is what we call no competition. And by that we mean this is a scenario that all brokers pursue. They come out to the client before a renewal and they say to the client, boy, I'm really going to shop hard this year. And the client tells them, that sounds great. I don't think I'll let any other brokers come in. The bad broker will race back to the office, and we made reference to this before, will race back to the office and tell the assistant, send an application out, flood the marketplace, and don't bother putting together a good application. And there's two strong incentives for that broker, the bad broker, to actually put together a bad application. One of them is that, as we've mentioned before, as underwriters decline an account in 1 year, they almost never will open that account up again and quote it for another broker. Once they decline it for one broker, they will not quote for another broker. So one broker that sends in an application and gets a declination has made sure that that insurance company will not quote against that broker if another broker shows up and tries to compete. So there's an incentive to send out a bad application because it automatically elicits declinations. The second incentive is something we mentioned before, underwriters being buried in application, only quoting perhaps 25% of the applications they receive. Brokers are under pressure to let underwriters off the hook, to not have them quote every account. And so if they send out a bad application, that will do the job. Largely, that will do the job. An underwriter will get a bad application, and a lot of times it's code. They'll see the bad application, they'll know the broker, and they'll know, okay, this isn't a serious submission. So it will elicit the declination and prevent other brokers from competing. At the same time, it lets the underwriter off the hook, doesn't force the underwriter to quote, and it maintains that relationship for future accounts. Sometimes the underwriter will get on the phone and call the broker and say, look, this seems like you're not serious here. And the broker will say, yeah, I'm good here. I think I'm in good shape, and let the underwriter off the hook. And of course, the client knows nothing about this whatsoever. So big problem. We'll talk about in the quote process how to circumvent that.